What if you're new in auto transport? You're a carrier, a dispatcher, a broker, a dealer, and you want to know where you should look for loads and where to post loads. Well, we're going to be talking about where to book loads, post loads, manage loads, and maybe manage new leads. So feel free to chime in, say hello, make new friends, and network with the best on ATI Auto Business. What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to Industry Logistics on ATI Auto Business, where everyone learns more about the automotive industry. I want you to say hello and jump in today, especially if you're researching. Please help me wish a warm welcome to my co-host, Sue. Can you see me and hear me okay?
I can. Can you hear and see me?
I can hear you. I can see you. Great. So the concept for today's show is, okay, I wrote this down. Let's say I'm new in auto transport. All right. And you don't have to be brand spanking new, but you are trying to figure out how to either make more money, move cars faster. In fact, that's probably why you are now working in auto transport, right? Why does somebody start working on auto transport? Here's a curveball. Go.
Right? Okay.
Well,
So how I started, this is crazy, but okay. So my parents owned a bar, and this guy used to come in. It was friends of theirs on a regular basis. And I had just had my son, literally maybe a month after that. He walked in and he said, "Sue, we're going to start a business." I said, "Okay, what?" And I've owned my own businesses before, so I don't know if that's why he came to me. But anyways, and he said, "We're going to start a car hauling business and you're going to figure it out." And I said, "Okay." He's the driver, I was the dispatcher, and I figured it out. And like I said, that was like 20 years ago, about the time Central Dispatch kind of started. So it was all learning as I went, and then I kept gaining more dispatchers, and then I became a broker, and it just went from there. So I don't know why most people do it. I just kind of came across it, you know what I mean? It wasn't anything I'd ever heard of or wanted to do or anything like that. So I think most people come across it because they've know somebody, seen something on TV, or I'm sorry, not TV, YouTube, something to that effect is usually how it goes down. So
I agree. I think that I fell into dispatching, and I'm also and I want to have a duality during this show. Mm-hmm. We've got the booking load side, mm-hmm. and then we got the posting load side. Yep. Now I realize, camera one, there will be people that only want to know one side, but I promise you, the more you know about the other side, yes, the better it will go when you go to either book a load or move a load, yep, right? Okay. Yep. And you understand both sides, so you're perfect for this conversation.
Yes.
That's the concept of the show starting. That's the starting point. Then, how do you book loads or post loads? And that would be with a
broker or
load board, broker.
Yeah, load board, sorry.
Okay, right.
That's what you're going for.
Okay, so 20 years ago, when somebody wanted to book a load or move a car, it was like, what, phone books and word of mouth and whatever?
Well, I mean, like I said, Central had started. You called, and this is going to be crazy, but most of the loads back then were McNutt, which is now Metro. So almost, and McNutt actually was close to where I lived even. So it was kind of weird how it all worked out. I remember that's how I ended up getting so many friends at McNutt, is because you talked to everybody back then. You actually spoke to them. They, once they got to know you, they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll let you, pretty much have all my loads," kind of thing. And that's how you did it. And in fact, when McNutt closed their doors and sold to Metro, two of the people that worked for McNutt came to work for me. So
interesting. And you're right. Central Dispatch was conceived, I believe it was 1999.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's really close.
Yeah.
And
I think I started in 2000, so yeah.
Okay, and I believe that Cox, it was Dealer Track or...
Yeah, it wasn't ready at the time or whatever, or Cox or anything at the time. It was owned by private, I think.
It was private, started private.
Yeah.
Then I think it was purchased by Dealer Track.
Yeah, it was purchased by somebody,
which
and then
I think was then acquired by Cox Automotive.
yes, yeah, yeah,
None of that is really matters, because Jay, we just want to talk about which load boards are worth paying for. All right,
right, right.
but communication and learning has always been a part of it. The software side. Okay, I started dispatching in 2012, and Central Dispatch was fully up and running.
Yep, yep.
Any idea, was it the late 2000s when it really turned into the number one load board?
I mean, honestly, I think it was the number one load board from the beginning,
From
if
the
you really want
beginning.
to be
Okay.
true. I don't think
All
there was
right.
anything else I used. That was
And
it.
is it still, all right, so we're going back to 1999 to now. Is it still the number one load board?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
is.
is.
It is.
It is. That's 25 years.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you're competing with. You're competing with 25 years of innovation
Yep.
when you jump in. And maybe there's the big takeaway here in the first 6 minutes of the show. Because there are still people that want to start a load board.
Right.
And you're up against 25 years of innovation.
Yes.
All right. And I also want to talk about the reasons why anybody wants to start a load board. I'm going to jump into the live chat here for a second. Say hello, Stefan family, Central Dispatch, Super Dispatch, Truckify is here. Fast Eddie Transport. If a shipper isn't willing to negotiate a fair price that satisfies both parties, then I'm not willing to pay recurring costs for shippers to dictate what my profit should be. And he's answering the question, what load boards are worth paying for? And he said none, given that. Accurate Transport Auction Parking Lot. Thanks so much for saying hello. Now, as we continue to move into this show, and what it's also, what is this a show?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay. All right.
I mean, a learning show? I don't know. What do you want to call
I
it?
don't know. What are shows anymore? I mean,
Well, that's true.
what's the difference between a show and a conversation and a podcast and a, I don't
True.
even know. I don't
Right.
know. I'm questioning everything right now. Okay. So we got 25 years. Now, when was there the first competing load board to Central Dispatch, and who was it?
I mean,
I don't even know that.
I want to say Super Dispatch, but um, well, I get because here's the thing. You could say Ready Auto, you could say Cars Arrive, you could say United Road, but those are all not load boards only for their own company. So it's not the same thing. You have to be signed up with them to be able to go use those load boards.
Exactly.
So
It's not the
those would be
same
the competing companies, but they can't compete because it's not the same thing. And those loads usually are on Central Dispatch. So I mean,
there we
I
go.
have this asked quite a bit when when I have somebody call and sign up, they're like, "Do I have to sign up for Central Dispatch?" Yes, unfortunately, you do. I mean, you have to have an account. Even if you have a Super Dispatch account, most companies are going to look at your ratings on Central Dispatch too. They're not going to just look at Super. And generally speaking, they're going to go by that, and they're not going to give you loads if you're a new company.
See, so I agree with you. I think that's where things get weird and actually confusing from the get-go.
Yeah.
Central Dispatch is where this, by the way, this is from like 2018.
Okay.
Back in the days of yore, I took it upon myself to try to compare and contrast load boards and auto transport businesses, and which seems pretty normal now. You'll find that in many places.
Yeah.
For what it's worth. Okay, so but Central Dispatch is where you'll find many businesses posting loads.
Right.
And I guess One Dispatch fit that bill, but which One Dispatch is now part of Central Dispatch.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And CarsArrive Network, that was mostly Car Global's Odessa's load board, right?
Right. Right.
Which Odessa is now part of Carvana, which Carvana has its own load board. And something's happened to CarsArrive Network.
Well, and then Backlots got bought out by CarsArrive as well.
Okay.
I don't know about anybody else, but I have not seen the amount of loads that I used to see for CarsArrive on the load board. I have not hauled a load for CarsArrive in a really long time.
Right.
It's kind of
Okay.
crazy.
So it's CarsArrive. This is the top 5 load boards in 2018. Central
Hmm.
Dispatch, One Dispatch, CarsArrive, United Road. I had Metro Loads number 5, and I said Ship.Cars because Ship.Cars was really
Yeah.
starting to ramp up their technology.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super Dispatch is not on here in 2018.
Right.
All
They
right.
weren't a load board then,
They
though.
weren't. Yeah, they
They were
were a
just
mobile app, which
right.
which that leads us into the next part is what's a mobile app? Why do you use it, and how does that differ from a load board?
Right. Different
And,
things.
and this also becomes a qualifier. If you use Central Dispatch, do they have a mobile app you can use to pick up and deliver loads?
Not yet.
Right, and they're going to change that. We don't know
Well,
where
we
they
don't know
are
what.
on
Yeah.
that progress,
Yeah.
but they are going to change it. So let's go into Jay. So then I started asking hard questions and saying things you're not supposed to say.
Right.
Uh, you said right. Top
Right.
12 car hauling load boards. Then I was like, okay, I think this was 2019, maybe. I think it was 2019 because in 2020
What?
nobody did anything.
Oh, see, I thought we did this last year. We
What
didn't
was
do
it?
this last year.
Well, we rejiggered it, and here's the rejigger.
Okay.
And you know what's not on here? Where's RunBuggy and AutoSled? Now, and we've
Well,
rejiggered a couple times. So
we
we are
talked
here.
about putting them on there, but they didn't have that many loads at the time. I
Well,
think that
and
was
so here
knocked
we
out.
are, camera one.
Yeah.
We are back to rejiggering. It's 2024. And, oh, here, I want to. Please help us decide what's the top 10 auto transport load boards today. Here we go. I'm going to put it in the live chat. Number 1 is clearly Central Dispatch, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's indisputable because of the volume of loads.
Okay, and so this what we're doing right now is just load boards, not to whether you pay for them or not, right? That's what we're
Right,
doing.
and that's because
Okay.
that's another thing. And I mean,
Yeah,
half of
that's
the
a
load
different
boards are
qualifier.
free, but we're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna arrive at what's worth paying for.
Right.
That's where I want to get to.
Okay.
All right. So one is Central Dispatch because it has the most loads,
Right.
and I think that whether you are booking loads or posting loads, Central Dispatch is your default. And again, 25 years of innovation.
Greater. Okay.
Or existence, whatever that is. Okay. Now, number 2 is Super Dispatch, right?
Yeah, I'd still consider that.
I mean, that's pretty amazing, isn't it?
I mean, and are we basing it off the loads, or are we basing it off the fact that you can
Thank
go
you.
get a load so easy?
Okay. Okay. How many? Okay.
I've got it up right now.
Yeah.
So,
Why don't you you screen share because we all know
okay.
what Central looks like. Let's go to Super. Oh,
Alright.
whoops! I took the you can take it. Okay.
Okay, got it. Which screen am I on? That one? Okay.
Yeah, and Accurate says Super
Okay.
Dispatch is number 2 all day, which again, that is pretty amazing. That's amazing.
So Super Dispatch has 9111 loads. And I was gonna look and see what do we have for the load board period for 3 days. So we have some comparisons here too. Okay. So I just do 3 days, but we have 58,745 loads on Central. Okay. Then Super Dispatch was 9111. What's the next one you have on the layout? And I'll go look.
Okay, so number 3. Okay, wow. Wait. Okay. Whoa, for a second I thought Super Dispatch had over 50,000 loads. I was about
Oh, no.
Right.
No, first one is the
Okay, so Central has 50-ish. And how many does Super have?
9110.
Okay.
58776
That's
and
good.
9010.
Super, on average, has between 10 to 20%, and 20% is high. Historically, it's 10 to 15% the volume of Central. Which again, I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's hard to grow.
Yeah.
And and that could be a whole nother show. How do you grow
Yeah.
volume of loads on your load board? This is something everybody's working on. I just talked to somebody the other day that said they have a load board. It started in-house. They're trying to grow it. How do they do that? And I said, well, that's actually the big, how do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you get camera one if it's 2024, given all the technology and all the brokers, how do you get a dealer or an auction or fleet management company to post on your load board?
I'm telling you, it's going to be difficult.
It's difficult. It is
Yeah.
difficult. And they might say, well, we're going to post on like 3 load boards.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I guess they have to know the advantages of posting on your load board.
and it
this
has
is
to be a
where
better advantage than other places.
and
So-
well, and this is where I now say mobile apps aren't enough to stand out. You have to have marketplace features.
yeah, I agree. Because everybody has a mobile app.
Except,
Well,
isn't
except
that
for-
weird? And that's the
I
that's
see.
the.
I don't think it's weird.
Oh, you don't think it's weird? You don't think it's
No.
weird that Central Dispatch doesn't
I
have a
don't.
mobile app?
I don't think they need one, and the reason being is I think if they use a mobile app, doesn't that almost say they have more to do with the load than that what they really? Because they're always saying we're just a load board. So if they create a mobile app, are they responsible in some way, shape, or form for holding all those? You see what I'm saying? To me, it just I don't think they'll do it.
Well,
They want to do
okay.
it.
But see, this is where now with why do you even need to verify a carrier or a broker?
Well, true, but yeah.
I mean,
that would
that's
be-
the thing. You're pulled into being more than just a load board.
right. Except
And
that
as
when
you
it comes to that part of it, they
Okay.
don't always follow through with
Well,
that. part of
they're
it.
also working on that, I believe.
Yeah, that I think is the number one thing.
Okay, well, the reason I say on the mobile app is that how do carriers pick up and deliver loads, and what do shippers expect to receive from carriers after they pick up and deliver loads? And that
Bill of
is
lading. A bill
bill
of
of lading. Okay.
Yeah.
And the bill of lading, how do you do a bill of lading when you book a load on Central Dispatch?
Well, I always expect them to use Super Dispatch or
Okay, but you
something to
just
that
said they
effect.
got to go outside of the.
Yeah.
See, that's my
Right.
point, and that's that. If you book a load on Central and you need to go to an outside software to continue the transaction, it would seem that you're missing something. Right?
Yeah, but see here, but yes and no.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Super Dispatch, we put all their loads on there so the guys see it all in one spot.
Aha! But don't you think Super Dispatch has now achieved an advantage over Central Dispatch because of
Yeah.
the mobile app?
Well, yes and no. I don't because that isn't their mobile app free, right?
Well, this gets in, yeah, and now
And so I think it's more of a convenience factor because all your loads we're using your load board, well, not load board, but we're using that as dispatchers, and I'm sure as the actual transporter himself, he's using that to put the loads on there. So all he has to do is go to one app, push all the buttons, da 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 da. It's done. You know what I mean? And not all your loads come from Central Dispatch.
Okay, so let's go back to load boards. Where else do your loads come from? Would you say
Well, it's-
ACERTUS?
Let me go look up.
Let's go to ACERTUS. Would you say ACERTUS is the third
Why is it doing that?
load board in this ranking?
There is only 2,663 loads from Metro.
Okay. Does Holly have more? Does anybody have more than 2,500?
Let me look at Holly's. How do I get to Holly's?
Because for a carrier, number of loads is
5713.
pretty much the main criteria. No way, 5713.
But here's
Oh,
the thing
wow.
about that.
Yeah, tell me.
If I go through there, you'll probably see at least a quarter of those loads are
Those little
$75
shorties.
and less.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of loads that are just.
Can you
short
filter out
run.
shorties?
Yeah, like look, 80. I don't have to look.
I know, but
I
just
mean,
for the sake of number of loads, is there a way to sort
recently
shorties?
added? I can do. This is all I can do by high to low, so I can do low to high. Let's do low to high.
There
Hold
should
on.
be a sort out by Jay's shorty. Okay.
Oh well, that one's 0, 0,
Okay.
0, 0. Okay. And see, that's not accurate because look, it jumped from 274 to 43. So that doesn't work exactly the right way at all.
So there isn't a way to do that. You can't
Not
filter
really.
out.
I mean, I don't know if everybody understands this though. This is where their loads are at, and you can click on this
That's pretty cool.
and show you that. I think
Does
that might
Central
be.
have something like that where you can look at where the
I
loads are?
don't think
Huh.
so. Not as far as I know. We don't have a map on there as far as I know.
Fast Eddie says, I have my own load assignment process. You may be wondering what that is, right? Yeah, Fast Eddie, we're
Yeah, tell us.
wondering. And you know what? I
Hmm.
forget to say this. If you're dying to join this conversation right now, you're welcome to. Just put it in the live chat, and then we'll see if we can do that. If it turns crazy, we'll have to adjust. But this is an open forum. I know this is what people really. Let's go back to camera one. The goal of the show is to make content that represents what people really talk about in their offices. I don't believe that people in their offices, or rather when they're on phone calls or talking to their friends, are talking about all the wonderful business stuff that we see. That's not real. That's not what people really talk about. They talk about this stuff. They talk about what's the number one load board, what do you like, what mobile app do you use, and that kind of stuff.
Trying to find out how many
Or
loads are
they
on
don't.
CarsArrive.
You're on CarsArrive?
Yeah, I'm trying to get to where it shows.
Thank you,
Mm-mm.
Reflex J. You don't know how much I needed that. I'm telling you.
Man, these are
They're.
the auction deliveries.
I'll just tell you right now. It gets frustrating year after year to be trying to create the truth in auto transport conversation, and it just isn't for everybody. It's tough. It
Trying to
is
find
really
all the
tough.
loads for listing. I can't figure out. Anybody can figure out how many loads are on. I know I did it one time before, but I'm trying to figure it out now.
I haven't seen CarsArrive in so long. Oh, and I remember that's right. They made like an update. And
Yeah, they did that a couple
yeah.
years ago, I think.
I
Something
get
like that.
search all loads.
All right, well,
That's
let's
what I
get out of
did.
CarsArrive.
Okay.
We're all feeling,
How about we do ACV? I can do ACV.
yeah, ACV. Thank you very much. So, listen,
1,396.
okay, I'm gonna put number 3. I'm gonna say ACERTUS. Before I
Well,
do, let's.
Certus was only 2663.
Okay,
Holly was
but
57.
we
Um,
also have. Yeah, perfect. You have those
ACV.
numbers.
Yep, I'm writing them down.
2750.
Mm. Then
Yeah, 2757.
AutoSled
Yeah,
has
AutoSled.
315.
Right. So AutoSled is near the bottom, and I want to talk about that too. And you're not able to go to RunBuggy?
No, I'm not signed up with them.
I
They
think
won't get me signed up.
It won't show me how many.
that's a little tough, man. I mean, do
Yes.
you guys go to RunBuggy? Listen, on the posting loads side of the world, RunBuggy is crushing it. I'm gonna share my screen first. Don't go anywhere. I just want to share this for a second. This is. I talk about knowing the ecosystem. We'll come back to that stuff. But oh geez, I jumped way ahead. When you look on LinkedIn, you can really get a sense of what these companies are saying in the industry, which represents people posting loads. LinkedIn is where I changed it. LinkedIn is where people that post loads hang out on LinkedIn. People that book loads hang out on YouTube. I think that's pretty close. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So on LinkedIn, where people post loads, you'll find this information. This is from January. I haven't heard much since, other than I've seen some information again for people posting loads on LinkedIn, like dealers, a little bit of update stuff. Other than that, haven't heard much. Super Dispatch, as we know, continues to promote what they're working on, what they're releasing, right?
Yeah.
And they do this on LinkedIn and YouTube and on their well, I think that's on YouTube. The Copilot.
ID number
If we read this thing about ACERTUS. ACERTUS has expertise not only in hauling but storage and maintaining your EVs. Now, how many? They have a load board. They are a broker. and they have end-to-end solutions in auto transport.
Yes.
That is so fascinating because Central Dispatch doesn't really have that. Super Dispatch doesn't really have that. You can book loads and perform that, but ACERTUS literally will be your account executive if you're a fleet management company. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And it makes me think their load board should have more loads on it.
Yes, I agree.
Why doesn't it?
I think they would say they do have their own trucks, you know, so.
Do they?
Well, aren't they
know
affiliated? I thought they bought someone with a bunch of trucks like last year.
Oh, okay. RCG Logistics, but does RCG...
No.
Okay.
No, not that one.
Guardian Auto Transport. No.
It was a company that had trucks, just trucks. I swear I saw that we put it on there, but I can't remember what it was. But RCG is a broker.
Right, RCG's a broker, Guardian's a broker.
But I thought they had some of their own trucks. I swear there was an outside company that they bought last year.
Does anybody know
what's going on?
If
No,
ACERTUS acquired a company that had assets? Carling's actually all based on mathematics of only 2 important numbers. I will share with you on your show very soon. Cool, thanks, Muzi.
Okay, let me talk to him.
Well, I would love to know that. Let's keep going. But anyway, and I think ACERTUS would probably say, well, it's because we dispatch a lot of those, and the rest are posted.
Not gone, right? Yeah.
So
they're gone as fast as they go up, or something to that effect.
I'm supposed to be talking to Clay.
Now, RunBuggy, we can't go to their load board, but RunBuggy does a heck of a job of marketing that they are picking up a lot of clients. They talk about going to a lot of trade shows. They post dealerships that they make deals with. But you can't get on their load board. Is that right?
Yep.
Why not?
Well, I was told every time I call in, it's because we don't have the extra $1 million.
Let me talk to her.
But I know Alina's gotten her drivers on there. I know Dalmac got on there without that information. I called. They said they would contact me back. They never call you back. I mean, it's been constant for the last year. Me calling's going, what's going on? And then they say, well, we don't understand why you're not signed up. This has all been in there for so long. I have to wait now because my insurance rolls over, so I can't even call them right now. But nothing ever happens. Alina says you just got to keep calling them back to back. But that's... Okay, I'm sorry, but that's silly. If they want all these transporters, then set us up.
Well, I think they say they've got over 30,000 transporters. I could be wrong about the number, but they are not shy about sharing with the folks on LinkedIn that post loads that they have a lot of carriers ready to go. There's 2 of us in here that they've had our paperwork for over a year, and we call in every so often and say, "What's going on? Why aren't we signed up?" Well, we've got your stuff here. I'll have someone call you. Nothing. And then you call back. Nothing. So. All right. Well, we can't put them in the top 5 for now because we can't even see the load. No, I can't even tell you what their load board is. I did run the Ship.Cars. Believe it or not. Ship.Cars. Yeah. They should be number 3. Okay. Let's go to the Ship.Cars. 699. Okay. Show me Ship.Cars. Show me Ship.Cars. Okay. Right here. $46.99. Oh, wow. Wow. I'll give it an applause. So, do you use Ship.Cars very often? Well, here's my problem. It's not Ship.Cars, it's Montway. But because you remember when we had the whole thing and Montway's accounts got hacked with a couple of my drivers, and whoever was hacking it was doing the same thing they were doing on UShip, where they were requesting load and back to back. So now me and Janice, our drivers, that's what happened to them. And they will not let us haul. When we call, they're like, okay, we have to go through this whole procedure. By the time that happens, they've given the car to somebody else. So the only time we actually get the cars is if nobody else wants them. And that's how we get them. Okay. So aside from that little story, okay, I'm just kidding. I thought it was pretty... Well, this is the problem with auto transport. Yeah. Right now, somebody who tuned in 30 minutes ago, hoping to get pretty straight answers, is, they're kind of thrown off and confused. Welcome to auto transport. Okay, having set that aside, I mean, are you in TV land, are you using, paw dogs? Montway really... You just say Montway and it draws the comments.
Right.
But that's a historical thing. Is that still
It
current?
is. I wouldn't say that they have
we okay
changed a
now?
lot over the years,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you still have the same thing of I'll call you back after we talk to the customer and make sure, which
Okay.
means to me they're still doing the same thing with the
Right.
whole U-ship thing.
But even
Where-
though the load is posted.
Yes.
Okay, see, and that is
Yeah.
even though the load, I think that's another thing. Here we go. Whether you're posting loads or booking loads,
Mhm.
if you see a load on a load board, you're assuming it's
That's
ready to go and you literally can just book it.
Right.
So
Dispatch,
whenever
can I-
you're told, let me call the customer,
Yeah.
anything is possible. You could never get a call back. You could
Yeah.
get a call
Yeah.
back. That load can disappear.
Yep.
They could change the number.
Yep.
Yes.
It's literally the kiss of death.
1
Yes.
p.m.
This is a video. The kiss of death
Right.
is, let me call the
Call your
customer and
customer.
I'll call you back.
Yep.
Oh,
Kiss of death.
sure.
Yep.
I'm writing that down. That's a YouTube short right there. Put it in the can.
One second.
Going
And
viral.
see, Auction Direct got bought out by Montway too. So
Oh yes.
So,
and
I have the same problem with them.
And again, looking at LinkedIn, those that post loads, Montway has deals with Auction Edge, Edge Pipeline,
Yeah.
and because of Ship.Cars, I mean they're very focused on dealers,
Mm-hmm.
which is a lot of cars.
Mhm.
That's a lot of cars. So that would explain maybe I bet you a lot of these loads are dealer to dealer, dealer
Oh, he's
to
almost there, though.
well, dealer
Customer.
new dealer inventory picking up
Yeah.
at auction. I'll bet you. Oh yeah, and that's actually where you want to be. That's another thing to think about. Whose loads do you want?
Right.
If you're a new broker, do you want to get into POV or do you want to be dealing with dealers and auctions?
Right.
What is the answer? Actually, they're both.
I,
tough.
I mean, really,
they're
I mean,
both
just-
tough.
Yeah, yeah, and honestly, in this day and age, if you're going to start being a broker, you better plan on doing both.
Well, you got to actually everything's a hybrid, and that's why we're talking in
Yeah.
hybrid terms. Whether you're
Yeah.
posting or booking, it's all one conversation now.
Yeah.
Okay, but Ship.Cars, you think Ship.Cars should be number 3?
It may
I like
be
it.
number
Let's do it.
2. I don't know.
I had them on the you know what? I had Ship.Cars on the original top 5 for a reason. They were a bonus number 6 because of their technology. Look at this load board. Look at the number of loads. They've been around forever too. I mean, historically, how long's Montway been around? Could it be 25 years? 20 years? They've been around. All right. All right, so we got Ship.Cars number 3. So, and thanks for saying hello in the live chat. I know that's another thing. There's an issue with this conversation. You either get folks that are booking loads ecosystem or folks that are posting loads ecosystem. And rarely do those two micro ecosystems talk as one. Keith Bradley asked me yesterday, you know, Jay, what are you who are you talking to on this show? And I had a hard time answering it because I don't want to say everybody, but I am talking to anybody in automotive that happens to touch logistics in any way, which is really most of automotive. For people, you know, if you're dealing with OEM parts, you're a tier 2, you're probably not dealing with auto transport and logistics. But almost everybody else, dealers, auctions, individuals. What are we looking at here? This is are you're working? Yeah, you're on courtesy mute. Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can
Jay?
hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, no, the
Yeah.
phone was ringing, so I was just shutting it off so you guys didn't hear that.
No, that's okay. So, all right, let's do this. We are trying to decide who's number 4. Oh, thank you. Trucker Inc. says RunBuggy has 1,100 loads available at the moment. BGA,
Okay.
first time, just saw now Super Dispatch reach 10,000 loads. Right, BGA, I agree. Hitting 20% volume of Central Dispatch seems like a new milestone again.
Yeah.
Congratulations. We're
I
going to
think
get to what we pay for.
We need to look at what we had, because we did this whenever we did this, we wrote down how many loads each load board had, and then you can compare
Yeah.
what it was then to now, too.
Well, why don't you do this? Why don't you share your screen? Let's go to
Okay.
Central. Let's do those numbers. And let's give it a go. Because I promise we're getting to what loads would you pay for. It's just, not only
Right.
does it go expensive to
That's
free
$2,000
really quickly,
Just going up to
that's
full.
another part of it. All right, CD is, we're going to say
It's
50.
58,000 and 675 right now.
Okay, I'm rounding up. 58
Okay.
plus.
Yeah.
Number 2 load board is
Super
who was that?
Dispatch.
Super Dispatch.
9110.
91.
Another load.
9,000? No.
Yeah. Yeah. 9,110.
Okay, so 9,000 plus. Okay. Number
The next-
3, we
the next
said
largest one is Holly.
Ship.Cars.
No, Holly
Yeah.
is 5,700. Ship.Cars is 4,699, so 4,700. So however you want to, if we're gonna go just by the amount, then that's it. But there you go.
Beat me up over here. No, I like it. All right. Well, that means, and Holly was again in the original top 5.
Yes,
Now, ACERTUS has how many? 26?
2663.
Okay. So here's a question. Where do you go more often, ACERTUS or Holly?
ACERTUS.
See? That's why ACERTUS is number 4. This is not strictly on volume.
No, it's not.
It can't be.
No,
Right,
it can't.
exactly.
Because here's the thing. Holly focuses, shall we say, East Coast. So I don't have guys on the East Coast. So most of my light loads are central, which a lot of metro loads are central. So I guess that's the way you got to look at it too. Which brokers focus in certain areas where your drivers run?
Well, there's another. So the good point. All right. So after ACERTUS, we got Central Dispatch, Super Dispatch, Ship.Cars, ACERTUS. After ACERTUS, what other load boards are you looking at for loads?
Well,
You
you
said
gotta put
ACV.
Holly. You gotta put a Holly in there next or something. And
I
then
think so
ACV,
too. All right, we're gonna put Holly as 5.
And
Could
then
ACV be 6?
ACV.
ACV.
And then I've got AutoSled. I do not know how many are on RunBuggy, so
How-
that I couldn't answer.
How many are on ACV?
300? ACV is 1396. Sorry.
13. And that's another thing. So once you get through the top 5, you are easily into 1,000 loads posted. And show me ACV's load board if you would, because once you get into 1,000,
No, not the
you really are.
ACV.
ACV has said before, well, our loads move fast, which is
True.
great.
Because they
That's
pay
great.
well. That's true.
That's great. Do
Janice
you
just took
search?
5 of them from Florida for Monday.
Well, shoot. Oh, good job, Janice.
Hey,
Yeah. So
3
Um,
grand too.
Do you search ACV regularly?
Yes, I do.
yes and no.
Yes
like
and no.
sometimes you go and it's already there, so you're just going to go get it. But yeah, that and Super Dispatch. Those are.
Andre made it. Cool. Andre is a new broker, and I was communicating with him on LinkedIn. I'm serious about this. Whether you are a carrier, a broker, a dispatcher, a load board, or a consultant, you really should send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Contact me through LinkedIn. Because, I'm just like you. I care, and then I don't. What are you going to do? Okay. So would you put ACV as number 6? Did we do
Yeah.
that? Yeah, we did put ACV as number 6. Okay. All right, 1 plus. All right, now this is when it gets hard. Number 7. It's not One Dispatch. It's not Cars. Is it CarsArrive? We got RunBuggy, AutoSled, and CarsArrive.
I couldn't look up how many loads were on CarsArrive, and I can't look up. I mean, I would tell you Ready has got to be in there up at towards the top,
Hello.
but we can't
They're
look
putting
at
it
it
on
anymore
hold
because it
for
goes through Central. It
Well,
doesn't
Ready doesn't
have
count
a-
anymore.
I
No.
have a couple of
Okay.
guys.
Ready is now part of Central.
Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah, you're right.
So, because you can't.
Jay, I never even thought the reason why all those loads are higher than what it usually is because of that. That's probably exactly why.
Oh.
Because we're never usually at 58,000. We've been at the 34
Shoot.
to 40. I
How
didn't
did we
think
miss
about
that? Yeah. And how many loads was Ready?
Those were Ready.
15, 20,000?
I don't
Okay,
remember.
kinda
You'd
like
have to
it.
look
Yeah,
at our
there's
show
nothing.
from way back in
There's
the day.
But it's in
Paw
there.
dogs
So when we need
pushing
to-
you ship. Good job, Paw Dog. That's awesome.
Okay.
Um,
All right. Yeah,
and I
there's-
also know, right? If you're
That's
listen,
why I
if
was
you're
so
if you're
excited
in
when I
if you're in
found that
freight car hauling land,
It's like
you're
450,
saying
I'm on.
where is
So I'm gonna try to get you
123 load
drive
board,
around for you, though.
DAT, truck stop.
Yep.
Am I missing any other freight
Yeah.
car hauling load boards?
Oh,
don't
What,
know.
we never talk
Where
about
we have
123
to go
load board.
No.
Going up to.
Does anybody search 123 for cars?
Going up to North
Every time
Carolina.
I ask, somebody
Okay.
says yeah.
$3,000.
Have you ever booked a load on 123 load board for a car hauler?
No.
See, I never had either.
No.
But it shows the reach of the show, so that's pretty neat. Okay, number 7. We've got
Ooh.
RunBuggy, AutoSled, CarsArrive, CarShipIO.
Yes, CarShipIO.
Could it be CarShipIO? How
It
many?
could
Look,
be.
can you check CarShipIO?
Let me see.
Can you wait one more week?
Stan just went, really? They're talking about me? Yeah, Stan. Now Stan shows up at trade show events now.
I don't know.
Okay.
Smart move.
I don't know if that'll work. Oh, maybe it will. Hold on. Oh.
Come on, baby.
Yeah.
No, because I knew this guy isn't in
Okay.
business
Oh,
anymore.
he's
It might
okay.
work.
You're not signed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
No, the only
Okay.
time I get the load is like Auction Direct uses CarShipIO. There's several companies that
Thanks,
use
Muzi.
CarShipIO.
All right,
Go out one more
Muzi
week
did
and
it.
Okay.
Do what?
Muzi stepped in it. Dispatch Center. Can we check Dispatch Center? Do you have any drivers
No.
on Dispatch Center? You don't.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dispatch Center has not made the top 10. Not yet.
Yeah. Just to Charlotte.
Okay,
area.
Jamal
Well, yeah,
says
Tony.
truck stop is good. Hey, what's up, Gary? Now, and I
Yeah.
believe me, I promise
Yeah.
we will get to
I couldn't
which
believe it when
load
they're all
boards
saying
are
I could
worth
pick up
paying
Monday.
for.
It's like, damn, I'm taking these.
Okay.
No.
Have you ever,
It's
Sue? Have you ever
individual,
used
but
Truck Stop?
you are going to the
Well,
same place,
yeah,
pick up
actually, I
one
used to do
Echo
freight
Park,
way back in the
Charlotte,
day. That was
and
one of my
then,
first jobs way back.
One going into Shelby.
And we used DAT and Truck Stop, but
they're all
it's
paying
been
like
like
6, 7.
forever.
Okay,
And
you
we
don't
used
use
to
it for
do-
cars.
500.
Yeah, and we
Truck
used to have
Stop.
a freight guy probably like 10 years ago, and he used Truck Stop. But
Okay.
And also,
It's
do
difficult.
me a favor. Live chat, do me a favor.
Yeah.
If there's any load boards that we haven't mentioned, please list them.
Yes, yes,
because
they
we
are.
know that, right? There's
Yes,
some
they are.
in-house load boards. Like, does Ship Your
Okay.
Car Now have a load
Okay.
board?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
RPM and Carvana.
Okay.
Right, still not a member of RPM.
Okay. Are you going
So
to
Carvana
RPM
does.
take a
still
vacation
no?
this
We don't know?
summer at all?
They do have one. I just still can't get on it.
And is Carvana still the Jot,
see.
Dom Jot,
Okay.
whatever? I don't
Right.
know.
Let me
Oh,
see
it's
if I can
not.
get into Carvana.
Oh, yeah, Carvana went to ClearPath. And this brings us back to the technology picture.
Yeah.
Let's
Because
see, I can tell you
ClearPath
how many.
has a TMS and mobile app.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so
Okay.
according to this, there's 100 entries per page, and there
Okay.
are
Okay.
117
Well,
entries.
I just wanted
So,
to see
That's
only-
two pages.
because
2 pages.
I need
Yeah,
to go to
but it's
Iowa
117
and
entries, so
my
they only have
brothers and
117
sisters,
loads.
So I
Wow.
wanted to plan it that way.
Wow. And that's actually
But
why.
I'll work
Do you ever
around it.
check the Carvana load board?
No.
Dispatch
No.
Center shows 2,000 plus loads. Well, all right. Thank you. Way to go, Mark. We love Superflow systems. We needed that. Thank you very much. Really
Alright.
appreciate that.
I'll see what I can plan around that then.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jorge says, could brokers work without load boards?
Okay. Sounds good.
Good question.
All
That
right.
sounds like a show. Well, they
Huh.
used to in the 90s. Right? That
Yeah,
was
they had to, right?
fax machines and phone books and word of mouth.
Oh
But
my God,
if-
yeah, fax
if-
machines.
Are there any brokers able to do business without a load board? Because you need to find carriers, right?
Right, right.
The only way to do it would be to have a list of carriers in a Rolodex. And then,
I have a question for
Yeah.
the broker.
That's a really good one.
Do you take, if somebody calls you and wants a load and they're not a part of central dispatch, do you give them the load?
Ooh. Okay. Wait. Ask that again. That was good. Take two.
So someone calls for a load on central dispatch, and they ask for the load, and you find out they're not on central dispatch. So they've just used somebody's account to look for loads, and they want to take this load for you, but they're not a member of central dispatch. Do you give them the load?
I'm gonna guess yes.
I
Because
I
no.
don't.
Well,
I don't.
Stolen vehicles.
Mainly because of stolen
is that what?
vehicles.
Maybe that's when you say, "Will you do it for $50 less?"
I don't, mainly because whether you look at it or not, Central Dispatch has got our contracts. It's all on there, and with the amount of cars that are being stolen nowadays, there's no way I could. At least there's a safety blanket a little bit with Central Dispatch, and you get all their documents and everything else. I mean, I don't know. I just don't do it.
Good one. Truckify mentioned ACI. ACI. What is the broker? ACI Transport.
They have an app.
Uh-uh.
But now they've changed their payment to 30 days.
Yep.
Their payments are up to 30 days.
Gary gives them a smell test. That always works.
Yeah. Since they just changed it like, what, a month ago?
Mm-hmm.
To 30-day pays. So.
Okay. Now we're really in the weeds. If you've made it through the past 45 minutes, congratulations. You're now a contestant on the next phase of Dispatch Survivor. Okay, so we've got so many things that then make this hard to evaluate.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have, I mean, let's start with Central Dispatch. How much does a carrier, the average owner-operator, single truck owner-operator, pay to access Central Dispatch every month?
Well, see, that's what's weird. They all have a little different rate, and I don't
Different
know.
rates.
Yeah, because
Can we go to? Do they have this on their homepage? Let's go to Central Dispatch. I don't want to speculate on this. I want Eric and I to remain friends.
And my guy is paying different, maybe depending on when they came into the system. Does that make sense?
Well, grandfather, yeah.
Yeah.
Does
Well, I mean, and they
anybody
add
want to
so much
post?
to it. So.
Does anybody want to post in the live chat what you pay monthly for Central Dispatch?
Yours is 132.
Yeah, Adolfo says. Yep.
Hers is 132.
That sounds low. I thought it was higher than that. I thought the average is about 150.
This one's
120. Okay, BGA's got 125.
And this one's 133.20.
Yep.
So.
Trucker 235 monthly for carriers.
Yeah.
What?
How much? What?
110 for load notifications. It was 130 a month when I shut down Q4 2020. Ooh, I hear that.
Well, Danny's paying
load.
133.20.
Yeah.
All right, so we now have some numbers that have come in. Okay? All right. Now, how much is Super Dispatch?
Free.
It's not always free, right?
It is. It is. The only way we pay for it is because we're using the desktop version of it, so we can put everything on the driver's app. If you just use the app, it's free.
Okay. Let's do that again. If you're a carrier and you just use the Super Dispatch app, it's free.
I believe it's free, yeah. Just
it doesn't cost anything to book loads and have a mobile app if you have more than one truck?
I believe, well, BOL is different. If you have multiple trucks, then it goes up because you have many drivers. But to use the load board is free.
Okay, the load board is free. All right, so let's stay there.
Yes.
Do any other load boards charge money?
Yes.
Which ones?
Give me the list. Bring it up.
Yeah.
Dispatch Center does.
Here, let's do, okay, so let's do this. We are right now live. We are rejiggering. Okay, we're doing top
12. Show me the top 12.
Top 10. I'm doing top 10 because I'm going to leave a couple off.
Okay.
Because that's, it makes it, I used to have 12 and I went back to 10.
Okay.
All right. top 10 load boards. And by the way, let's see here. I do everything in Notepad. I know that's pretty fascinating to everybody.
And thank you for sharing.
One Central Dispatch.
Oh, you're typing it up. Okay.
Oh yeah, well, this is
All right.
we're live. Super Dispatch. 3. Who did we pick? We picked. Let me go back through my.
We're talking about for people that we have to pay.
Well,
Dispatch center.
I want to know. Yeah, I want to talk about what the money is because we're gonna get to the money. Oh, I already lost. I can't even see. I can't go back in time. No, that can't be true. Oh, there it is. Number 3 is Ship.Cars. So Central Dispatch, we're gonna say it's around
Ship.Cars.
It's around 130, 125. Super Dispatch is free. Ship.Cars is
Free.
okay.
I
Great.
thought we were doing only ones that we had to pay for.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
no,
All right,
we're doing. We
gotcha.
want top 10.
All right.
Then we want to talk about, is this one free? ACERTUS free?
Yeah, but you got to be signed up. Same thing with Ship.Cars. You got to be signed up.
But you still don't
Dispatch, you have to be
pay.
signed- Right, but okay.
I'm talking money.
I'm
We're talking
breaking
turkey.
them up mentally. To me, it's
That's-
totally different.
Well, don't yet. They're good. That this will lead into the conversation. ACERTUS is ACV is free, right?
Right.
Okay. Oh wait, Holly is free.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this is an important thing. Is that well, we'll get to that. All right, 7. Did we pick a 7?
No, but you need to put like CarsArrive.
All right. I'm okay. I think we said
AutoSled,
CarShipIO, right? CarShipIO? And then, Dispatch Center was on there. Here, let's do this. Let's do CarShipIO, which is free.
I don't know if it's free.
Aha.
I swear it says it costs to be a carrier on there, but
All right. And Dispatch Center?
I
Is
don't
it
know what
free?
it costs. I want to say it's $60 a month or something like that.
All right. And then, perfect. The last 2 we're going to do RunBuggy and AutoSled.
Okay, free.
And I think, see, this is where the controversy will begin. Because are RunBuggy and AutoSled below CarShipIO and Dispatch Center? What do you guys think of that?
No, they probably should go up, but
Right? Well, because I rank them by places you actually go.
right.
Because you can't rank a restaurant in the top 5 if almost nobody goes there.
True.
So, Central, Super, Ship.Cars, ACERTUS, Holly, those are the top 5. We're putting ACV as 6. You check those top 6 pretty regularly?
No, not Ship.Cars.
Really?
And
Not
Holly.
Ship.Cars?
ACERTUS for sure.
Yeah.
That should go up there higher, I think.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, exactly. Because do you guys go to ACERTUS or Ship.Cars more? And I think the answer is
ACERTUS.
ACERTUS.
Yes.
This is how hard this is to rank these things. So I'm going to put ACERTUS back at number 3 until I can be convinced. And how, Ship.Cars versus Holly. Which one do you check more?
Holly.
Yeah,
See,
but which one probably...
This is all dependent on where you live at and where your driver,
All right,
travels.
I'm going to leave
too.
Ship.Cars as number 4 then. I'm going to put Holly as number 5.
Okay.
Because I'm just going to do that for now, but I really want to hear live chat and comments.
And
Okay.
honestly, I would look at ACV before I looked at those two.
Let's do
Only
this.
because
Yeah.
ACV pays better.
Ah.
So, I go to the places where I'm looking for good paying loads.
And that's that's the number 1 criteria, isn't it?
Right.
It
Yeah,
is.
I mean, I hate to say it, it's all about making money.
But doesn't ACV's number of volume... all right, I'm gonna do this then.
I see what you're saying
really
because
hard.
there's not much volume, but I still go look for it because I'm
Okay.
looking for that like outrageous paying car,
Okay.
and they usually always pay $1 plus a mile. So I'm always, when I'm looking for loads, I'm looking for that kind of stuff. So
All right, good. We got some verifications. ACV before Holly, and Holly before Ship.Cars. And see, look, Ship.Cars keeps dropping. Isn't that... And this, to me, this is the golden feedback for people that work with these load boards every day and stare at what do people think. And look, Ship.Cars just fell to number 6, just like that. Because when you're searching for loads, Central, Super, ACERTUS, ACV, Holly, Ship.Cars, is that the order?
Yeah. Sometimes
Is that
Super
your
before
order?
Central, but
Central, Super, ACERTUS, ACV, Holly, Ship.Cars. We're going to
Yeah.
go with that for the moment because
Yeah.
now we can start talking about what you'd be willing to pay for.
right.
And what's interesting is the only one that costs money is Central.
Central Dispatch Center, and I'm pretty sure CarShipIO does.
Right. And that's why we're going to leave them down here. We're going to we're
Okay.
going to go with this top section. Okay?
So yes, out
We're
of the
gonna stay
first
with the top
6,
six.
you're looking at Central. And everybody will always have to pay for Central. Like,
And
pay to
so, here we go. What auto transport load boards are worth paying for? Central,
pay it. Yep.
okay. Super is free.
Super is free until you start using the EBOL system and stuff like that.
But their load board's free.
Right.
That's really interesting.
Now you
Wood,
do
all
have
right.
to set yourself up. It's the same
Wood.
thing. I mean, all
Wood.
of these you have to set yourself up with. Send
All
them
right.
all your credentials.
Would you pay $50 a month for access to the Super Dispatch load board?
I don't think people would.
Do you think they'd pay $25?
No.
Really?
No.
Why would they? Why pay?
Okay. So
Why does
this
Central?
is-
Yeah, they have this incredible lead on the money thing. Why?
Because they started it. I mean, I hate to say it, but they've come from the beginning and they've kind of got a monopoly on this whole thing. And here's the thing
Will it
with
always
Super
stay that way?
Dispatch.
Yeah.
I know that some of the loads on Super Dispatch are not on Central, but I would say, I don't know what their percentage is, but let's say 80-90% of those loads are already on Central Dispatch. So most of these drivers have got so many expenses as it is already, they don't want to put in more money. You know what I'm saying? You had drivers. Talking them into spending more money is...
I gotta pay you. I gotta pay them.
Yeah. it's
Don't get me started.
Yeah.
FQ says 73,000 cars. All right. So now I think this is an interesting place to stick around for a while because if you wouldn't pay $25 a month for Super Dispatch, you're not going to pay for any of these others. They have to stay free.
Yeah.
Central Dispatch. Okay. Central Dispatch. What's your favorite thing about Super Dispatch? Is it the load board or the mobile app?
Mobile app.
Let's talk about the mobile app. Does ACERTUS have a mobile app?
Yes.
Yes.
Does the ACV have a mobile app?
Yes.
They do.
Yes, they do.
I think so.
Oh.
Does Holly have a mobile app?
Yes.
Does Ship.Cars have a mobile app?
Yes.
All right. Does Central Dispatch have a mobile app?
No.
All right. So the only one
It's them.
without a mobile app. And they still are getting you to pay. That's
Yeah.
pretty wild. I mean, that is pretty wild.
I mean, don't get me wrong. In Super Dispatch, you have to pay for your EBOL system, but it's worth it. So my
Okay.
question is, if Central Dispatch does add it, are they going to charge more?
Okay, see thank you. This is actually where I'm trying to go. Is if this is where we are, we're not staying, nothing. Camera one, nothing has stayed the same
No.
year over year. I mean, my gosh, when is the last time 1 year to the next just blended in seamlessly? 10 years ago?
Maybe.
I mean, right? The birth of the mobile app. Let's go to the birth of the mobile app. We got the birth of the load board 25 years ago. The birth of the mobile app really was about 10 to 15 years ago.
It was Bex, right? Wasn't that the first mobile app?
So here's what's interesting. I don't think that was the very first.
Oh, it wasn't? Okay.
I don't think so. But
I don't know.
I can't be sure.
I can't remember.
I
can't
can't
remember
be
if Polly had one then or not, or
But I do. But what he saw was a way
need
to
for it.
make a difference in the market,
Mm-hmm.
and he got cracking, and he did it. He did it. And now, what's interesting is, for many years, it was just a mobile app. Okay, great. Hi, mobile app.
Yeah.
And then everybody started getting in the mobile app race.
Yeah.
And now the mobile app race has caught the load board race. And now we're in this marketplace feature race. That's where we are now. And what we're looking at here, it is going to change. Put these bad boys up here. Because, and this is where I think we can now go back to our second section, is which of these companies is working the hardest to catch up? And the answer is RunBuggy. And right behind them is AutoSled. And you know what? I know. Here's what blows. RPM's not on here.
Right.
Carvana's not on here. UShip is not on here. ACI not on here. Okay.
And you know what I think is sad is I think RPM has a lot of loads.
Oh, they do.
Why
But-
they won't get this all, and they don't answer the
know.
phone. So get a load board going so we can push a button and get our own loads.
I don't know what. So please, somebody. I don't wanna be left out in the breeze on this. Would somebody please explain the RPM thing?
No clue.
Do you guys use RPM? Do you go to their load board? Are you in the club? Because we don't know. We don't know the secret handshake.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, and you know, we all had our own reps, right? Now that's not, I literally don't have a rep. I have to either ask Jen or Janice to contact their rep for a load because nobody answers the phones.
Psst, hey.
Like literally.
Hey. Can you hook me up with some RPM? Okay, I'm good for it. I'll be over here.
It's crazy.
Last time I heard, they said they don't have a load board, and yet we keep hearing they do, right?
Right.
I don't know. I know they have a blog.
They have a load board.
They have a load board.
We just
And I get all the way to the end, and then they want us to hook up
the
to
ELD.
their ELD, and it won't let me do it.
Just keep calling and get a hold of one dispatcher and then contact that person. But it is. It's like a secret deal, and they're a global company. Like, there's a dealer right now that might catch wind of this podcast, and he's like, "What are you talking about? RPM is global." Well,
Right.
in the logistics game, we don't know.
Well, I
We
mean,
don't-
technically,
If you have an RPM contact, let us know.
I mean, TQL Proficient should be on there too.
Ooh,
not?
okay, good one. TQL. By the way, do you ever? I have never booked a TQL load.
Oh, I have.
Are those full loads?
No.
No.
I've picked up, and
Now it's
honestly,
whatever.
I don't think I've seen a TQL load on here for a while.
And Proficient, PAL, Proficient Auto
Proficient, I get
Logistics.
load lists every single day for, but
Interesting. Oh, you
They
still
should
get
have a
those
load
email spreadsheets?
oh yeah.
Oh, I love
Oh,
those.
Circle Logistics.
I was
they
just
come
gonna
in.
say them. That is super
Yeah,
weird.
I get their load lists every day, and they pay well.
And you see, so this is where now we're into. Are there 20 load boards?
Right.
Does SYCN have one?
That's what who?
I know. It always seems weird. Ship your car now.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I know.
No, not as far as I know.
They don't have a load board?
No, because if you ask for the load, they do the same thing. We'll have somebody call you back and tell you if it's a good load or not. And
We'll have somebody call you?
yes, or you'll get an email, and that's
Weird.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like let's say you were shopping for a car on, there's a million Carvana, CarMax, well, not Vroom, But anyways, you're shopping for a car, and they're like, yeah. You click a link, and then somebody's like, well, we'll call you back. What? Or you're shopping on Amazon. Oh my God, I love this like tea kettle set. This is so awesome. Shop, cart. We'll call you back. What? Okay. So I guess we've settled. We're at 1 hour.
Okay.
We've settled it. People will pay $125 a month for Central, but everything else needs to be free.
Yeah.
Is that pretty much where you guys agree with that? Is Central Dispatch the only load board worth paying for?
If there was another load board that had totally different loads from Central Dispatch, everybody would pay for it too. But that's the problem. They're the same loads.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. Are you saying that... I don't mean it. This is not an accusatory statement, so let me change it. Are Super Dispatch loads unique to Super Dispatch, or are some of them duplicates on Central?
I would say, what do you think? There's a percentage that's all on Central.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very few that are not on Central.
Very few that are not on Central.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now why is that? Let's talk about
I know
that.
backlots list their cars on Super first for so many hours before they post them to Central. So that's why a lot of people will look on Super before they go to Central, because they do keep them exclusively on the board for a certain length of time. I don't know about anybody else, but I know that about backlots for sure.
So if you're Central and you're hearing this, that you're the only load board, you're the master load board, and most other load boards are subsets of you, no wonder you're the only... Yeah, so you're Central,
Mm-hmm.
and all the other load boards pretty much are smaller duplicates of you.
What do you mean?
That would explain why they're the only one worth paying for.
I have a driver that is a carrier.
What do shippers care about that? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess if you're a shipper, then wouldn't you say, well, why am I posting anywhere other than Central?
Yes.
Why
because
bother?
Owner and driver.
Good point.
This is where you have to sell them on the marketplace features that make you different. And this is why I bring up the Cox Automotive $100 million investment.
But I'm saying we're also...
Because they're saying...
I have a carrier that I dispatch.
Well, and see,
for my money, they're saying, dude, we're going to make sure we stay number one.
Right.
Well, and I think a lot of the reasons, now, the reason why I would think a good broker would want to post on Super Dispatch too is that I think that Super Dispatch does a better job as vetting the carriers and vetting the brokers.
I think they have the mobile app. They have some. I mean, this is where Super Dispatch.
Mm-hmm.
You can't rank them number 2 just on volume of loads.
Just a small broker.
But they are a significant second. If we were able to look at it like a horse race.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you.
Central Dispatch, Super Dispatch, and then who's third again? Let's go back to that.
I think you had Metro. Wasn't it Metro or ACERTUS? Sorry.
ACERTUS.
Yeah.
Okay. ACERTUS is a real player in the marketplace. This is why I mentioned about them as like the end-to-end solution.
Mm-hmm.
They are very unique in that, right? And actually, RunBuggy is also competing with ACERTUS. This is what makes RunBuggy so interesting. And Nell's RunBuggy loads are unique. Ah, thanks, Nels. Appreciate that. Thank you. In fact, hey, Nels, how many loads are on RunBuggy? We actually don't know.
Yeah, tell us.
Thank you. This is great. This is why I would love to see folks, business developers, whoever from each of these companies tuning into ATI. There is nowhere else that this conversation happens. And it's bad news for the carrier community that this isn't something we're taking advantage of. It means that sales, again, sales gets all the attention, not logistics. Because we talk logistics. Logistics is boring. Logistics doesn't have an audience. Logistics is a waste of time. So Nell says there's 15,000 loads on RunBuggy. Those are loads?
Wow, that's a lot.
Wow. Okay. Nels, see? You just told me something. Is that right? I didn't know that.
No.
That's crazy. If that's true, and Nell says it is, then I'm gonna do this.
Can I search? I can search on Central RunBuggy loads.
Oh, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that before I go crazy. Start changing everything. Rob says CarsArrive is his preference. Now Rob moves. I think Rob moves reposition.
Yes.
Repossession loads. So.
Yep.
And this gets into where you talk about regional. This is really very hard to compare all these apples and oranges and bananas and avocados and artichokes and grapes. More fruit? You want some more fruit?
On Central, RunBuggy has 209 loads listed.
Well, Nell said they're unique. BGA said, how unique?
Yeah.
It's a good question. Oh. Restream just gave a wow. We just hit a milestone on Restream. We got 100 messages today in Restream chat. That's never happened before. I guess we struck a nerve. Which auto transport load boards would you pay for? Actually, the views are pretty good too. Don't say anything. So, all right, let's do this. We're gonna wrap this up.
So hold on.
Yeah.
One thing.
Yeah. I'm going to put RunBuggy.
That'd be about right. So I went and looked up, okay, so AutoSled, I said earlier, it had 315 loads. So I just put in Central, how many loads they have. They have 302. So that's probably about right. So I wonder why there's only 209 on Central for RunBuggy. That's weird.
Well, Nell says 15,000. It's somewhere between 200 and 15,000. I'm just kidding. I mean, it's... My point is that Nell's... I'll tell you what. Not on CD, on RunBuggy. Okay, Nell's here. Here's. I want you to do me a favor, Nell's. This is a community... This really is a community resource. I know I get a little weird sometimes. I'm sorry about that. I want you to contact... Will you contact Sue at Murphy Auto Transport, please? I'm going to share Murphy Auto Transport Services. I'm a passionate guy. I'm an artist. I don't know. Forget about it. Okay.
Well, okay.
Anyways, will you contact Sue and help her get somebody signed up with RunBuggy? Sue, now that we have Nell's attention, why aren't you signed up with RunBuggy?
I was told that they didn't have all of our paperwork, but I've given them all of our paperwork several times. Me and Janice both cannot get signed up with our drivers.
All right. So it's once again, it's a logistics bottleneck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, they say the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Not in logistics.
No.
Thank you, Nels. That rocks. That rocks. By the way, full disclosure, I have RunBuggy on the show Tuesday night. I hope they still show up.
Why would they not?
I'm just kidding. They're going to show up. It's going to be great. Jeremy Wanders here. Happy to give Sue a call. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Really, this is what it's all about.
Sweet.
All right. That's actually why RunBuggy... You know why RunBuggy's on the show Tuesday night? Because they returned my calls.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I know. You know how I talk about hand signals at RPM? Man, nobody at RPM will talk to me. Nobody. I mean, I got the plague. Speaking of... Hey, Accelerated Services. Do they have a load board? Or JMN? Do they still have a load board? I know this is kind of older talk.
I don't think they have load boards, no.
Right. Nell says there will be bells on. That's awesome. Well, what we're going to do Tuesday night, this is great. I really appreciate the segue, the contribution, the time. You guys made my day, and I needed that. I really did. I appreciate that so much. Tuesday night, we're going to be talking about AI. Now, I know AI you know, AI's like talking about AI is like talking about logistics. It's like, oh, what are you talking about? Yuck. But I have been dabbling in AI programs to try to improve my work process and efficiency, and it's working. ChatGPT, that program alone, if you type in ChatGPT, or and you don't have to be a genius to use this stuff. It goes to chat. Well, it's both of them. It's ChatGPT. It's chatopenai.com. Whatever it is. Here, and look. Let me share this too. Welcome to my laboratory. Have a seat. You go to chatgpt.com, and this is new. This is brand new. This introducing GPT 4.0 is brand new. And it will be like an Atari in 10 years. But right now it's brand new. And you can type things. Shoot, man, I didn't even know that. I just clicked on something I had typed in February and it brought it right up. I had asked about I typed in UVI vehicle inspection systems. Here, let's do this. Auto transport load boards. It is now giving me, and you're not seeing it. There we go. It is now giving me, oh my gosh. Whoa.
Everything about it. Oh my God, look.
Whoa,
Popular auto transport load boards even.
Look, I'm going to do it again.
That's crazy.
Whoa, that was crazy. Auto transport load boards. I typed 4 words. And I'm getting, intro paragraph. I'm getting a list of key features. 7 bullet points. Benefits. 5 bullet points. Popular. So look at that. Wow. Yep, for shippers and for carriers, and that's what I've been saying. It's both. You got to think of both. Wow. Okay. I typed 4 freaking words into ChatGPT, and I got at least 20 minutes worth of educational material. That is why I'm talking about AI. That is why I'm doing the AI takeover on Tuesday nights. Now, not every Tuesday night, because you can't do the same thing every week. As actually many podcasts have found out, there's a lot of new podcasts, and I try to watch their walk down the path, and they're like, yeah, it's this show. Hello again, it's this show. Hello again, we're this show. And then by the 5th one, they're like, oh my God, we're going to talk about anything. It's the greatest. Okay. So anyways, AI, once a month, we're going to talk to some genius in AI that has to do with an automotive business. It doesn't have to be logistics. It can be vehicle inspections, whatever. And Tuesday night, we're going to talk to RunBuggy about their AI. RunBuggy has been talking about RunBot a lot. And here's a question. I'm going to put it out there. Is it an algorithm? Do you have a really good algorithm? Or do you have AI?
They just told me yes.
You have a really good algorithm? Or do you have AI? Now, if you're in the audience and you don't know the difference between those two, an algorithm is a really smart mathematical formula that will do a calculation and it's structured. AI works on the fly like a human being. AI thinks outside the box and responds outside the box. So the question is, when I typed auto transport load boards, yeah, this is AI. What happens if you type auto transport load boards? Will you get the same response? What if I type car shipping load boards? Is this a really good algorithm or is this truly AI? Oh, car shipping load boards is spitting out the same information, which makes this answer a little bit like an algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where the AI conversation should be right now. Is, do you have a really good algorithm, or do you have this incredible AI? And it's okay if it's we have this really incredible algorithm and we're adding AI. Because AI is what's really scaring people, not incredible algorithms. Amazon has incredible algorithms. If you're shopping around, those are algorithms. Now, if I talk to you about, Jimi Hendrix and an ad pops up for Jimi Hendrix, I think that's AI. And that's the scary stuff. All right. Well, to answer the question 1 hour, 20 minutes later, it looks as if Central Dispatch is currently the only load board that the marketplace seems is worth paying for. But it's 2024, so don't get comfortable yet. We're in for a lot more innovation over the next 5 years. It's going to get crazy. And the features that we're going to see added to these marketplaces, that's going to get pretty interesting too. And fraud has to get tackled. Yeah. If that's even possible. Literally everybody's talking about stolen vehicles.
It's insane.
It's crazy. What's your most recent stolen vehicle story?
That was the one where they stole it, took it and stripped it, and then delivered it to the customer late at night with the motor and the transmission completely out of it.
Okay. Thank you. Perfect example. So did the carrier you hired do that?
No.
Right. So how did that happen?
Yeah. Good question.
So a carrier, you're a broker. Mm-hmm. You posted a load.
Yeah.
A carrier booked it and picked it up.
Yeah.
And sometime prior to delivery, it got stripped?
Yeah, but it wasn't my carrier that picked it up.
Somebody else picked it up?
And he said he was doing a favor for a Russian friend of his, and because I have his name, number, him on the bill of lading, and I'm like, you realize you stole this truck? And he's like, I didn't steal it. I'm like, were you authorized to pick it up? Well, the guy told me to go pick it up, and I'm like, you weren't authorized to pick it up. Not that the cops have done anything about it, but he was hired from his friend, and I don't know hired. He was asked as a favor to go pick it up and take it to Cocoa Beach, Florida, and it was supposed to be going to Bowling Green, Kentucky. And I don't know what took place after that. So, yeah.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think that, let's go to the live chat. It would seem that this, oh man, we got networking. We have, and Nels says they have True A. Great. Nels, that's why I want RunBuggy on the show Tuesday night. Because I believe that is the case. They have both super cool. Colin is in here talking, and Beck is cool. That's awesome. Yeah, Beck is cool. I had lunch with Beck. I think it was in January, February. It was awesome. So the stolen vehicle thing, it would appear. What I'm wondering is how many stolen vehicles. I bet nobody has this number. We don't even know. We'd be speculating live. Sue has been stolen.
No, we're just booking a load.
Booking a load.
Tough one.
Saturday.
Anyways, yeah. So keep me posted about stolen vehicles, AI, load boards, mobile apps, companies. If you were here today and you saw this, this crazy stuff up here.
60 minutes.
Whether you agree, disagree, or have something to add or whatever it is, or subtract, I would love to know. Please put it in the comments, put it in the live chat, email me. You can go to atiautobusiness.com. You can contact me through LinkedIn.
Yeah, Ryan.
You can reach out to Sue. If you don't want to talk to me, that's fine too. But we do want to know. We're trying to keep our finger on the pulse. And this is the latest. This is May 2024 for anybody that watches this in the future. And I will say what I find fascinating is the top 6 hasn't changed that much.
No, it really hasn't. It's about the same.
That's really interesting.
I'd love to know. We need to find what the load board volume was for each one of them when we did it the last time.
I think RunBuggy is RunBuggy is going to get in the top 6. in less
Just so
than a
everybody
year.
knows, they
Yeah.
just called us and told us, yes, we have to have that extra $1 million worth of liability. But I talked to Jen and she said her driver didn't. So I'm not really sure what's going on.
Oh, well,
So I
stay
still
tuned.
can't offer them.
All right, well, but I appreciate the phone call. Did we ever hear back from our connection? You know, our secret handshake guy? Anything? No? Nothing yet? All right, well, see if you can get me hooked up. All right. It's never easy to land the plane. You get used to it. The community, it feels good. But you got to get back to work, too. So, listen, I want to thank everybody in the live chat, and I really do appreciate the contributions and the, yeah, it was a Russian criminal. I was going to say this, Captain Obvious, is that hackers and, you know, whatever the category is there,
Whatever, yeah, you want to call
they
it.
do not care.
No.
They may have cared at one time, and they may be unable to care based on their situation. It's kind of like, you know, I think about the jewelry smash and grabs. We don't know what they're dealing with when they get back to the lair.
Right.
You know, we don't know. But man, so how are you going to verify carrier your way out of how that guy picked up that car?
Now we, if it's a dealership, I call them and specifically tell them who's going to be picking it up, the name of the driver, and their phone number, and that's what we do every single time now, and just say this is the only people picking this up, blah blah blah, blah, you know, that kind of thing. So,
Wow. So we are moving into security systems America.
yeah.
Awesome.
Well, and I've had a lot of people, like, they want to see a picture of our truck and trailer. They want you to send a picture of the vehicle picked up on our truck and trailer after it's picked up, just to prove it's us. So, yeah, it's going to keep getting worse because it's not going to stop.
Yeah, it's like at the TSA. You can't get on a plane now without them looking at you and your ID.
Right.
We're used to that. And I
Right.
see that's the new standard.
Right.
That's going to happen, I don't know. It's going to happen more.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe on buses or I don't know.
Well, it's kind of like having to have that new driver's
Malls?
license to fly
I don't
by
know.
2025 or something like that. The new driver's license. So,
Yeah.
which is
Oh
stupid.
boy. Well, we've got a show about that actually. Shiafra is based in London. She has that tech that we looked at recently with the photo and the face and the ID. She's going to be on in a few weeks. So, all right, man, we made it to 90 minutes. I'm always surprised that we do 90 minutes. That's crazy. Thanks for sticking around. What do we say, office?
Goodbye,
Bye, Sue.
Goodbye, Sue. Goodbye, everybody.
See you,
Thank you
everybody.
so very much. Have a good day. We'll see you next week. All right, peace out.